Hello, and welcome to another flight on Explained. And today, as you can see from the title, we are doing something a little bit different. Today, we are flying the Boeing 737 MAX 9, which is a longer variant of the MAX 8. Um, Obviously, the Max aircraft is grounded right now, so there isn't any Max aircraft in operation. And some of you who are on the flight sim community would probably know the saga that's going on about this aircraft. There are some people saying that this aircraft is a pirated copy, and the person who releases this aircraft says they, they say they actually work on it. They were part of the team. So I don't really have a comment on whether it is morally um, or ethically, whether you should download this um, and fly it, since there's always going to be two sides. One person claim that they work on this, and then the other person says that they stole it, or the other person stole it. So I guess it's up to you whether you want to believe either one or both of them. I usually keep my opinion very like centered. Um, Obviously, there isn't any sort of like proof-ish, I guess. There are some codes that says like this is a Zibo aircraft, but then Zibo, I believe they say they didn't work on this Max aircraft, so it's a little bit confusing. It's a little bit messy. So it is totally up to you whether you want to fly this aircraft. Um, but for me, I will be flying this until there are solid proof that this is actually a pirated copy. But um, since there is not really a solid sort of proof, I will be flying this aircraft until um, there are more evidence to suggest that this is a pirated copy. As you can see, this aircraft is actually done quite well. There is pretty good detailing, even on the engines, the leading edge of the engines, there's this metal reflection, and then obviously the inside of the aircraft are all completed, as you can see from the outside. I'll show you the inside, and that is what we have. That's the cabin for the Max. This is the Max-9, so it's a slightly longer variant in comparison to the Max-8. I'm using one hand holding my mic, and then I have to maneuver this, so it may look a little bit weird. I am trying my best here, so if you would just bear with me, I will try to get a good camera angle for here. Um, so this is my first time flying it, so I have to set up all my key bindings for my views. And if you don't know how to do this, it's basically just you come to whatever view and then you press Control. And for me, I use the number pad on my keyboard, usually which is on the right hand side. You can just use Control and whatever number that you want. You can use from 0 to 9. The other ones like the star, the hash, the enter, the plus minus, they are not part of the binding, so you can only use the numbers. So we have a ring view here and a very good view of LAX, if I haven't mentioned that, but you would have known from the title anyway. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of detailing done to the cabin. There's even the safety card if you noticed that just now, which is this one. But yeah, it says 737-700 and the dash 800. There's no mention of um, oh well, there's a mention of the Max-8, but there's no mention of the Max-9, which is what we are flying today. Coming back to the cockpit, you can see some differences. We have four big screens in front of us. We obviously have the PFD, the ND, and then we have the I don't know what they call the display for the engines and stuff, but we basically don't have those screens, or well, not really screens, but more like analog um, things. It is all replaced into the screen, so you have the flaps and the fuel indicator. It's all built within the screen here. I don't know if they call it multi-function display. I'm not sure if that's what they call it. I could be wrong. And then the overhead, I don't know what they call this, the comms panel here is basically the same. The difference on here is basically you have what was supposed to be up here. So the auto brakes, the fuel flow display, the N1 display, and the speed reference, and the engine system and information buttons, which is supposed to be up here, right above the landing gear thingy. It's now moved down to the bottom. But over here in the middle here, you can still see we have the backup AH, artificial horizons, and then we have this huge part here that is dedicated to the landing gear, and there's like information on like the limits for the landing gear and the flaps. But yeah, for the rest of the aircraft, it's exactly the same. Oh, it seems like our landing weight is not good. So let me. Oh, are we like past the max landing weight? Right. We may have to unload a few people. Let's say 12, 11, and 2, and then 11, 12, and 3. That should be good. Let's double check. Not that one. There we go. Landing weight is now in the green. All right. Yeah, as I say, everything looks the same. And over here on the what do they call this? The EFB. You can see there are credits to like Zibo mode and all the other people. So like I say, I think I saw an article that says Zibo isn't involved with building the aircraft. So I am not exactly sure, but it is up to you to decide whether you want to fly this aircraft. Um, but yeah, let's get on with the video and get this flight going. We already have
Ground
pushback
to
set.
cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright,
Ground to
let's
cockpit, tow
request
is starting up.
pushback. We have passengers coming in right now. Uh, Open the door. Alright, we need our CG for takeoff. So that is over here, 18.4. Let's go there. I haven't flown this aircraft, so I have no idea how it's going to perform. But it seems that it's very, very similar to like the regular 737 dash 800 and probably the 900. I mean, this is a Max-9,
Okay,
so
all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
um, we will know how it performs when we get this going. So we have all the numbers here. Let's double check that. Doors, that's alright. We need to turn on the fuel pump, turn on the APU. APU should be starting. Oh, so they don't have the APU information up there anymore. So I'm not sure if they've moved it here.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Is it over here? Nope. I'm not sure. Maybe they haven't finished building the APU page. That could be the reason. But we have APU now. Let's disconnect the ground power. Better pushback is done. Turn on the anti-collision lights. Turn on seat belts. There doesn't seem to be a cabin announcement. Oh, there we go. Turn on hydraulics. And we are good to go. Alright, parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, packs of lights on. Um, oh, tug pressure is very low for some reason. I'm not sure if that's a bug. Let's see if we can start the engines, because on the regular 737 you need about 40 psi. Right now we only have about 15, and yeah, that should be right. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's... Oh. Okay, that's weird. Um, that could be a bug, because when I turn off the packs, the duct pressure should go up, not go down. Alright, we are clear left. Let's start engine number one. Hopefully that works. And our clock is over here now. Okay, that seems to work. Okay, so we have N2, we have EGT, we have N1. Oil pressure is coming up. Duct pressure is still there. 21%,
Operation
22,
complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
23. Oh gosh, 24. I don't know if I need to like put in the fuel a bit earlier.
Every flight is safety. So before we depart, I'll be giving a brief safety presentation.
I think there's some issues with my controls, so I'll let the engine finish starting up and then I'll check my controls because I haven't actually mapped anything, so I'll have to do that. Alright, there we go. We have engine number one. Um, and then I will go ahead and check my mapping and I'll come back to start number two. Alright, so we have just successfully started engine number two. We have mapped our controls. Pushback is now clear. We have two good engines. So let's check our rudder full left and full right. Let's go ahead and cue that parking brake. Turn on our lights and start taxiing. And while we are doing that, let's turn off the APU, turn on the packs, turn off the APU, engine continuous, and I believe we are pretty much good to go. Alright, so I am not sure where we are going. Make a left turn. We are using runway 6 left, so clear right and clear left. So let's make a left turn here. And then we will eventually have to go to the other side.
Also, most seat cushions can be used for flotation. Now, before we take off, be sure your seat is upright.
Alright, flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral. And flight control check complete. Let's set our
Now would
flaps.
be a good time for everyone to review the safety information card, which is in your seat pocket.
On behalf of everyone at Delta Airlines, we want to thank you for paying attention. Please relax and enjoy your flight.
So we are not adding any thrust, and it seems like it is the engine is quite powerful. We are basically not adding any thrust, and we are already going about 25 knots here. Um, and we have a heck lot of fuel, so um, I can already feel some difference with the engines. Obviously, this engine is much more powerful than the regular 737, so they do add a lot more power. So for takeoff, I am using full thrust because we have quite a bit of weight here. And let's see um, how much power it is going to produce. We may have to do a derate climb if there's too much power. We are clear left and clear right. And we are clear right and clear left. Alright, just need to get the 80s again, just to make sure. Off the center line here. So configuration, we are set. Trying to arm LNAV, but it is not arming for some reason.
This is Los Angeles INTL Information Lima. 1158 Zulu. Visibility 9. Temperature 17. Dew point 14. Wind 110 at 7. Altimeter 2983. Advise you have information Lima. End of information Lima.
Alright, so altimeter and wind is staying the same. Yeah, I don't know why I cannot arm LNAV here, because we should be able to. I mean, on the regular 737, I usually able to arm the LNAV and VNAV, but it doesn't seem to be possible here. Alright, we are going to take this next right over here, cross 06 right, approach is clear, runway is clear, and then we are going to line up on 6 left, take off, and it will be pretty much a straight,
Approaching 06 right.
well, not straight, a bit like a straight left climb. So as per usual, I'm going to leave my mic over here so that I can have both hands free to do the takeoff, and then I'll come back when we are approaching
06 left.
That was a good timing. When we are approaching Detroit to do our approach brief, and um, yeah, hopefully be able to successfully do this flight. I just need to turn off the cabin lights if I can find it. There we go. Takeoff and landing.
On runway 06 left.
Alright, so enjoy this takeoff, and I'll talk to you a bit later.
knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. $400. 1,000.
Alright, welcome back as we are descending into Detroit. I'll point you into some of the stuff that I found different in comparison to the normal 737. So the first thing is the forecast page. On the QNH section, on the normal, well, not like the Zibo mod
1,000 to
737-800,
go.
so not the max version. Um, so that one is you basically have to convert it to the normal QNH. But on this one, you cannot use the uh, is it the hectopascal? You have to use the inches, so 2980. So that's the difference. I'll just continue the descent down to, I think it was 5,000 if I am correct. But we are still pretty high, so I'll just descend to 8,000 for now. Turn on the lights, turn on the seat belts. Yes, so that's one of the difference. And then,
1,000 to go.
what else? I think that's about it. I think that's the only difference. Obviously, as you can see here, we still have the performance landing page. Um, and as you can see, our fuel remaining is very high because I was using the normal 737-900 profile. So basically, the fuel usage is a lot higher in comparison to the max. So we have a much lower fuel flow, or I mean fuel burn on the engines. That's why, yeah, we have a lot of fuel left. And if you are wondering why this is going a little bit bizarre, that is because I have the sim speed up, so everything
1,000 to go.
is a lot quicker. Alrighty, we need to slow down to 250 knots. Actually, I'll go a little bit further down. And then obviously we are going to be joining the base, right base, and turn right into final for runway 22 left. Descent checklist, pressure is 650, NDI is not required, approach briefing and fuel is done. Um, Indicated speed bug is set. Landing instruments and approach aids have been set. Landing checklist. I will be doing that very soon. I'll just slow down to flaps up speed so that our turn will be a little bit tighter. Let's go into heading mode and start our turn now. Alright, and then I'll set Rogue as our next waypoint. And I can go back to LNAV. Oh, we are actually really high. So let's descend. And put the flaps up. I mean flaps 1. We are really, really, really high. Let's go flaps 2. And flaps 5. Flaps 10. Alright, we are like 3,000 feet high, so I'll try to save this landing and I'll come back to you once I get on the ground.
Thousand to go. 1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Approaching 2 left.
Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Long landing, 9,000 feet remaining.
Eighty knots.
Alright, welcome to Detroit. Let's make sure that we have the APU and turn off number one. Forgot to turn the strobe off. and that is it. Uh, Click on the clock, and yeah, that's done. Um, let's connect the ground power and the chokes. There's no auto gate here, so um, that's alright. We are close enough, so I'll just open up the doors. Actually, no. Let's do a quick replay because it is very late where I am right now. So I'll quickly wrap this up. So if we can go to here, and as you can
Fast feet
see,
stabilized, Mr. Burchell, as you said.
or I'll just lower the volume. So as you can see just now, I did something that you should never do in real life, and that is do a 360 on the final. I didn't want to go around and have to come back, so that saves me a lot of time. And as I'm quickly trying to wrap this up, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. That will be very much appreciated. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe for new content. And if you have any questions, any suggestions, or constructive criticisms, um, leave them in the comments below. I do read every one of them, and any feedback will be very much appreciated. And check out my website as well, my travel blog, travelwithdemo.me. Um, I'll put the link on the description and on the end screen as well, so you can check it out. And my travel concierge business as well. Not another dot travel. The link will be on the description. Um, if you feel like supporting me, you can go check out my website and check that out. And also, of course, share my travel blog with your friends and family if you think that will help them out. We have a butter landing, but obviously we fled for quite. I mean, we fled quite early, so we ended up floated um, quite a long way down. Let's have a passenger view, and after this, I'll leave you all here in Detroit. And I would like to
Long
thank
landing.
you
Long
for
landing.
watching,
9,000
and
remaining.
yeah, I'll catch you all in my next video.
Five thousand remaining. Long landing. Long landing. 9,000 remaining.